Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Karen with Creative Paper Artisan. And if you are watching this video, you are very likely the proud owner of the bookshelf spine kit that I have released. And if you have not yet purchased it, that's okay. If maybe after you see this, you'll want to, take a stab at this yourself. I think it's going to be really fun. So here are the papers that you will need. There are only 3 files in the kit, but you need to print the bookshelves page twice. So you have these 2, and then this one twice, the bookshelf spine, outer edges, and then the bookshelf spine base just once. So you'll have 5 pages, and they all need to be on cardstock. So go ahead and cut all of these out. I will do the same, and I will be back. Okay, I am back. And I must say, I led you astray. There is one more piece to this kit, the hidden spine templates, but that's a whole nother section. So we're just going to set that aside, but I just did want to bring that up. So here we're going to start with this the long base. And go ahead and take your ruler and your bone folder or something that you can score along all of the fold lines, and you'll see those. They're kind of the faint white lines that you'll see. So there'll be one here, 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 and then here, and all the way across here on both ends. And I went ahead and scored them already. So let's go ahead and just kind of gently fold it up. And with it being cardstock, especially the 110 pound, it's a really good idea to score ahead of time so that you get a nice clean fold. Nice clean fold. All right. And usually I like to make sure my creases are really good and creased, but in this case I'm not going to, because I want it to have some really good structure here. This is going to be a 3D, contraption, so it doesn't have to be super duper crisp folds, but we do want it to be enough so that things stay in place and they don't bow out. So that's good there, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and fold this flap back like this. Now this one I do want to get a crisp fold on because this is going to be glued down to itself. So this one can be nice and tight there. So go ahead and burnish that good right there. We'll do the same thing here. And then we'll go ahead and do these flaps. Fold this one up. Fold this one up. And then fold these back. And go ahead and burnish them. Okay, so now we're left with these gray tabs here, and we are going to fold them up as well. And these are going to be what holds the sides to the back of this piece, okay? Okay, and then we will just go ahead and glue those tabs to the back of the little short sides. And you can tape them if you want, but I think glue is going to be much more sturdy for our purposes. So I'm using art glitter glue because it's a good, strong, fast drying glue. And I like it, and it works really well with cardstock. Okay, so now we're going to just glue all of this down the side so that it's a nice one, a nice smooth little box there. All right, so there we have our base done. Looking good already. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and move on to the little shelves. Okay, so now we're going to work on the little shelves, and they are basically, it's the same concept as we did with the long base. I went ahead and scored all of the fold lines here, and so we're just going to start by folding that up there and that there. And just kind of get the whole cube situated here. All right, and then we're going to fold these, the end flaps back like so. It's so much easier once you've scored it. It just kind of magically goes into place. I love it. All right, and I do want to get those nice and crisp and flat. Okay. So like this. And then the same thing with these gray tabs. We're going to fold them. And just kind of take your time because you want everything to fit nicely. We're going to fold those and then again tuck those behind like so. I didn't fold these yet. Hang on. Fold them like so. And then we're going to glue them on the back. And then glue these flaps down, just like the other one, okay? So we're going to do that 4 times. And I will do the rest of them off camera, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got our cute little shelves assembled, and you just need to place them in the base here. And whether you do them with the boards going this way or this way is completely up to you. It's honestly not going to show by the time you put all of your little mini books in here. So, but I'm just going to put mine all in this way, just because I can. So there we go. There is the bulk of it. So now we're going to move on to the sides, and this part's kind of exciting for me. I think it's kind of makes it all come together here. So let me put this aside for a minute and we'll work on this. All right, so now what you're going to want to do is score, and I've already done all the scoring, but the score here and here. This one has a darker line just because it's kind of an unexpected place. You might not expect to be folding there. And then here as well, and here. And I did not put any marks here because I didn't want to ruin the aesthetic of it. But go ahead and score. Just line it right up to the edge of the paper and score those hinges right at the edge. Okay, that'll make it much easier to do what we need to do. All right, so now we're going to just fold that there and there and there. Now we don't need to fold this at this point, and you may not need to at all. We'll see. All right, let's do the same thing here. Fold these little guys. All right, so you want it to be like, opposite. The little longer tab here on the top and one on the bottom. All right, so now let's get our shelf back in the story here. And you can start from the top or bottom, whatever feels comfortable to you. But I'm going to start from the bottom. And I'm going to glue this, and we're going to put the glue on the whole part here all the way and glue it here on this little section. And we want to make sure that this part is flush. We don't want it like sticking out like this. Okay, we want this to be nice and flush when we glue it. All right, and then we're going to glue this little guy around there and this little guy around there, okay? And we do want to go ahead and, glue all that as well while we're at it, so we don't have any bowing and buckling. Okay. And then we do it all over again, and we just make sure that we cover the opposite end here. This will go here, and this will go here. Now, the one thing that I am going to do, instead of letting this overlap like this and like this, I'm going to fold it back and make sure that it's nice and crisp. Same thing right here. And I'm going to glue these down. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that is so that there's a nice finished edge on this corner and on this corner. You could just cut it as well, but I think it kind of flows better and gives it that much more substance if you fold it, but cutting it would be fine too. And since we have these tabs here, over here, it will help kind of make it more of a seamless look there. So we're just gonna glue this whole thing right around there. All right, so now I want to put these little guys back in here. Now we are going to fold these hinges over like so, just to kind of get them where they need to be. And if the little boxes kind of pop up a little bit too much, just push the whole thing. Push the whole thing down. There we go. All right, so here comes a really fun part. I'm going to go ahead and take these out again, just to give myself a little bit more room. All right, so here is the part where you will need a crocodile and grommets, or eyelets, whatever you want to call them. And what we're going to do is very carefully, I'm going to use the very smallest setting because this is pretty small. I don't want too big of a hole. So I'm using the very smallest setting on here, which I believe is 1/8 of an inch big. And then I've got 1/8 of an inch little grommets. And we are going to punch a hole in the middle and then place the grommets and use this little monster to get them in place. And then we'll almost be done with this. Okay, word to the wise. Really watch where your post is cutting, because as you can see, I did these a little closer to the edge than I intended. This is more where you're going to want the hole, like right in the middle there. So I'm just going to show you how to place the grommet, just in case you don't know. And then we're going to move on to a finished one that I have already, because I feel like I don't want to continue with this. I'm going to have to redo this part, but that's okay. It's just paper, right? I can print out more and redo that section. I'm going to go ahead and set it on here already like that. I want to make sure that side is showing in the front. So I'm kind of doing this a little bit upside down. But I'm going to place that in the hole like so. And then we are just going to squeeze as hard as you can. And there you go. There's a beautiful little grommet. Okay? So, and you just continue all the way through, but like I said, be careful. Be careful where you're punching your hole there. I guess I kind of got in a hurry. But just make sure that you're paying attention to where this is landing on here, okay? Okay, so once all of your grommets are in place, this is what it's going to look like finished, okay? This is the finished spine looking from this side. Now, as you can see here, you can, these grommets and hinges are to keep your little mini books in place, obviously, right? But you can use anything you want. I actually thought about using maybe like a little chain with a hook that you can unhook, any type of ribbon. I ended up using sari silk, and I just like ripped it in thirds, so it made this tiny little strip, and I love the scruffiness of it. So that's what I decided to do for this one, and I'm really liking it. But you can use ribbon, other ribbon or lace, anything that's smaller. I had some waxed. I had some waxed twine, and it was a little bit too stiff for me. I didn't like the way it was looking, so I decided to go with something kind of floofy and scruffy, and I really like this. But I kind of like the idea of a chain as well. Maybe on this one, when I fix it, I might do that one with a chain. But so this is it. This is the assembly for the spine itself. Now, how to turn this into a cover is going to be a separate tutorial, and I will have that linked below. But for now, this is the bookshelf spine. Congratulations. I hope you had fun with it. See you in the next video.